Emmy from Littles. I'm getting ready to show y'all some climbing options for things you can put around posts in your backyard or your front yard. You can also put them on light poles or trellises throughout your yard. Sometimes people even let them grow up their brick on the side of their house. First up, I had the Confederate Jasmine. It does stay green year round. However, the tint on the green gets a little bit darker / a little bit brown during the winter, but they're still there. It does bloom this white bloom throughout the whole summer, and it does put out that jasmine smell. The full hot sun, or if you have a yard that's half shady, half full sun, it can do great there. Next up, I have the Tangerine Beauty Vine. It blooms a orangey pink bloom early spring. It does lose its leaves during the winter though, so I wouldn't use it for privacy on a trellis. It can take the full hot sun all year long, or if you do have it in part shade to part sun, it will still bloom, just not as well as it will in full sun. So just know that if you do put it in a shady area, you just may not have as many blooms. I do highly suggest cutting these back early spring just to kind of go ahead and get it a kickstart for the summer to try to keep it bushy. This is all new growth from this summer, so it is a very rapid growing vine. Next, I have the Lady Banks Rose. It does best growing up against a house or a post. I will say it's a little bit harder to maneuver in between a trellis in my opinion. It blooms these very pretty yellow blooms early spring. However, it does lose its leaves during the winter, so then again, not a very good privacy option if you're wanting to use it for that sort of purpose. Next up, I have the Hagley Hybrid Clematis. It does bloom these very pretty purple blooms throughout the summer. It does lose its leaves during the winter. It can take the full hot sun, and again, if you do put it in some shade, it just may not bloom as much as it would in full sun. Clematis do need a lot of support, so I would suggest this up against your house or brick columns as you're entering a driveway with some of those sticky support stickers you can put up against your brick, or it does very good up against a trellis. It's a little bit more of a mature clematis, hence why it is already blooming and it already has a good structure to it. I'm getting ready to show you another clematis that I like, but it's just a younger crop. This is the Bee's Jubilee Clematis. That is what it looks like, pink and white variegated. This is a younger crop, as you can tell, so each year clematis get thicker and bigger and have more blooms on them the older they are. This can take the full hot sun. However, if you do put it in shade, it will not bloom as much as it would in full sun. Same guidelines as the Hagley's Hybrid I just showed you. I have the Carolina Jasmine. It blooms beautiful yellow blooms early spring. It does keep its leaves throughout the summer and the winter. It's very similar to the Confederate Jasmine, just obviously a yellow bloom versus the white. I will say the Carolina Jasmine is not as fragrant smelling as the Confederate. It can take the full hot sun, or if you do put it in some shade, it will not bloom as much as it would in full sun. They do amazing up against a house, trellis, post, really anywhere you put jasmine, it will grow and grow up wherever it's at. I will say, since it is a younger crop, a lot of these are younger crops, they do need to be trained a little bit throughout the trellis or up against your brick if that's where you want it to go, or even go ahead and twine it around your post to go ahead and let it get that kickstart. Just a little bit of a recap of what was showed in this video. We had first up the Confederate Jasmine, we had Tangerine Beauty Vines, we had the Lady Banks Rose, we had Clematis, and also we showed at the very end the Carolina Jasmine. All of these, like I said, do great growing up against things. All of these can take the full hot sun. And remember, if you do put them in a little bit more shade, just remember that they may not bloom as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope you got some tips on some things that can climb in your yard. Any questions, feel free to call us at the office or comment, and we'll be glad to help you guys. Y'all have a great day.